Whoever said that the Prime Cap Daily had to be delivered in the morning? So we're going to be publishing it a little bit later on today, precisely because of this meaningful vote in Westminster. So a decision on whether or not Mrs May's Brexit deal is worthy of us, the electorate. Today's been a very interesting one. Overnight we saw the pound rally. So against the euro and the US dollar, sterling climbed. And actually yesterday we saw it climb to a 1.29 rate against the dollar in particular, which was a welcome relief, I'm sure, for certain importers who've been waiting for the typical or usual rally that we see in the value of the pound after Christmas. Unfortunately, though, the pound has now, as I talk to you, sunk below the 1.2750 mark against the US dollar. It's actually gone below the 1.12 mark against the euro. And I suspect that this is because the United States have woken up. It's 5:24 here in London, so early morning in the US. Now, ultimately, the pound actually rallied yesterday, or I suspect it did, on the back of the prospect of no-deal Brexit being less likely. So the Dominic Grieve Amendment, which brings MPs back to debate what to do next, to debate what happens after a supposed defeat of Mrs May's deal, this makes no-deal Brexit less likely. In fact, actually, you could argue that a defeat of Mrs May's deal makes a softer Brexit more likely. And of course, they didn't want us to, the markets do not want the UK to leave the EU, but if we're going to, we want it to be soft, so in close alignment to European regulations, because that means businesses can have certainty and there won't be too much change. But also, you want that no-deal Brexit thrown out of the water. So markets are confident. It's more likely that a deal will be done and that deal could very well be a softer version because you need a majority in the House of Commons to approve whatever it may be. We're coming to you this evening because tomorrow will be volatile. You may very well see a drop or indeed a rise in the value of the pound at relatively short notice. And frankly, I'm going to you to say, do not panic. We rustled up a new blog post, and I'll put the details of it just below, a new blog post earlier on this afternoon, 3 things to do when markets are volatile. And the first thing is, take a breath. A lot of people will be saying the end is nigh and all sorts of things with regards to the rate of exchange. We've been here before. There have been distinct market shocks. The pound and the UK economy are resilient. I'm not trying to suggest that we know what's going to happen after we leave the EU. What I am trying to say is that the strong, sharp movements in rates of exchange, up or down, relevant to whether or not you're buying or selling, whatever currency, but they invariably see something of a correction back. So it's rather unglamorously called the dead cat bounce. And effectively it means that when the pound or when a currency strengthens, particularly, those who are speculating on a currency's trajectory have to sell, have to release their positions in order to realise any money they hope to make. And for that reason, the pound or the rate tends to go down or up and then correct back ever so slightly. Now, obviously, weeks and months from now, there may be different rhetoric, innuendo, series of different concepts with regards to the UK's trading relationship with the EU. All of this may result in a positive rally in the value of the pound. The pound is very sensitive at the moment. It's rallying or moving based on news headlines and political sentiment, less so economic data. And so hopefully, after we get a deal, after there's some sort of clarity as to what's going to happen next, you'll see an air of stability come back to the market. And things will just get a little bit more normal. We'll leave you to it. Thank you very much. It's now, gosh, we've only been going for 4.5 minutes. Fun times. Please do check us out. Prime Cap Brokers on Instagram, Prime Cap Brokers on Twitter. We will be live streaming on the Instagram story tomorrow. Any questions or comments, please do let us know. And that is all. Adieu.